K. Dasarath Ramreddy. Today we are going to discussing about software testing concept. So where we can discussing about what is software testing and what is verification and what is validation, and we are going to discussing about what is SDLC life cycle and what is the importance of testing in software development life cycle and what is V model. So these things we are going to discussing about the software testing concepts. First let us start with definition. What is the software testing? So what is software testing? Generally, when we are going to testing the concept, software development process can be completed, then we are going to starting for the software testing process. So the process of testing the application to make sure that whether the application will be working according to the user requirements is nothing but a software testing. Then, so who should test? The corresponding testers will be, first we can test for the developers will test the, and independent testers also can be testing the software. So first we can discussing about the developers. What is the developers' roles in testing concept? So developers is nothing but starting with the requirements. The client will be given for the requirement specification documents. From there we are gathering for all the requirement specification documents. Then we can analyzing properly. Based on that, first we have to designing the corresponding application. Then first thoroughly the corresponding application will be working properly or not according to the user requirement specification documents. We need to test it. Then after completion of that designing process, then we can start for the SLOC. So what is SLOC? The SLOC stands for source lines of code. So these source lines of code comes under the coding part. So once we can writing the source lines of code according to the whatever the application previously already were designed. Based on that, we need to write the source lines of code. Then after completion of this coding process, we need to identifying that is there any kind of errors within the coding process. Then we need to start for the identification of errors. If there any errors can be identified, so we can identifying that rectification can be completed. So this is the kind of process we can call it as a debugging. So what is debugging concept generally? So debugging is nothing but to identifying the errors in the coding, and as well as rectification can be done is nothing but the debugging process. Then who should test is nothing but developers will be over. Developers will be up to, so coding part only we can take care of the development team. That means starting from requirements, analysis phase, design phase, and after that completion of the coding part. Then independent testers. The independent testers job will be, they can start for the testing process. They can start with first unit testing, then for integration testing, then for system testing and acceptance testing. So what are these types of testings? So first one is a unit testing. So unit testing is nothing but the name itself says. So what is unit testing? So unit testing is nothing but, so each and every unit we can testing for the corresponding concept. Suppose for example we can take for any kind of a project, their number of modules will be there. So for each and every module we can consider as one particular unit. So first we can completing for one particular module, then we can move on to the next modules. So the next one is for integration testing. Second one is for integration testing. So what is integration testing? So the integration testing is nothing but here. So all the modules can be integrated together, and finally we can executing for the entire testing process is nothing but a integration testing. The next one is for system testing. System testing nothing but from scratch to end. That means starting from requirements to up to designing for the application and whatever the coding process we have done, and finally you have to write the test cases and executing for those test cases. If at all any errors can be identifying, rectification of those corresponding errors, and finally we can deliver the product according to the customer expectations before delivery. This everything will be come under for the system testing process. Then acceptance testing. So after delivery, once we can deliver the product from outside of the environment, whether all the customers can be accepting for your product or not. That means when it can be accepted, so according to their expectations, that means customer expectations or user expectations, your product will be available, then automatically, so user acceptance testing can be done. So these are the 4 levels of importance of testings will be there. That is, one will be unit testing, integration testing, next one will be system testing, and last one will be the acceptance testing. So these two will come under for the who should test, both for developers as well as for the independent testers. Then mainly we are going to discussing about 3 important differences in software testing concept. So what is error, so what is defect, and what is a bug. So first we can discussing about error. So what is error? So generally errors can be identifying in the coding phase. So whatever the source lines of code you have written, so we have to try to identifying for any kind of errors will be available within the corresponding coding. Then we have to try to rectifying for those kind of errors. So that's why errors will come under for the coding process. Then what is a defect? So defect is nothing but, so first we have to try to designing the application. So how we are going to designing for the application? Based on requirement specification documents, we can analyzing properly. According to that, we can designing the application. Again, we have thoroughly tested that the corresponding application will be working properly or not according to the user expectations or user requirements. So these corresponding concepts will come under for the defect. Why? Because if application will be not working properly, that means so we have identifying for any kind of defects within the application. So that's why defects can be identifying during the designing of the application phase. The next one will be bug. So what is a bug? So bug is nothing but here whenever we can start for the testing. That means writing for a test cases, executing for those test cases, how we are going to decided that the corresponding test case may be pass or fail. Here two things will be there, the main important things. One is for expected result and second one will be actual result. If both the actual result and expected results are one and same, then testing will be pass. The corresponding testing will be pass. If both actual result and expected results are different, so automatically testing will be failed. Again we are going to conducting for the retesting process until and unless the corresponding all the test cases will be passed. So that's the reason only here. If actual result and expected results will be different, then whatever the testing will be then fail. That failure we can call it as a bug. So that is the reason here. So these are the three important concepts under your testing concepts, basic concepts of testing. One is for error, defect and as well as bug. So now we are going to discussing about what is an SDLC, importance of testing in SDLC. So importance of testing in software development life cycle. So here software development life cycle can be consisting of total for 6 stages. These stages we can also call it as 6 phases also. So what are those 6 phases? So first we can start with requirements, analysis, designing or design, coding, testing, maintenance. So these are the 6 major phases or stages that can be available under the software development life cycle. Then first we can come under for requirement specifications. So requirement specifications can be generally given by the client. So there are here 2 different kinds of requirements are there. One is for SRS and second one is for BRS. So what is SRS? System requirement specifications, and BRS stands for business requirement specifications. The client will be given for the business requirement specifications. Based on that we can gathering the information, all the requirement specification documents, analyzing properly. Then based on that, after analysis phase, then we can try to designing for the corresponding application. Then after designing will be done, then application will be working properly or not, conducting for a testing process. So after working the corresponding application will be working properly, then we can move on to the coding. Coding will come under for the development phase. Then within the development we need to writing for the source lines of code, executing for each and every source lines of code at least once, so that if any errors can be identifying, those errors can be rectification can be done. So up to this development process can be completed. Then we can start with here testing process. Then within the testing process there are mainly importance of 4 levels of testing will be there. We can completing for unit testing, integration testing, system testing and acceptance testing. Then what is the maintenance? So after testing will be completed, then we can ready to deploy the product from outside of the environment. Deployment is nothing but release the project or product from outside of the environment. Then so once we can release the product, so automatically the customers or users can be using for your product, whether they will be satisfying according to their expectations, your product will be available. Then automatically we need not do for any kind of changes. If again customers can be expecting for more whatever the product already you have developed, then again we need to start for the retesting process for the same kind of project. So these corresponding concept we can call it as a iteration process. What is an iteration? One iteration will completely comes under for starting with requirements to up to maintenance phase. If these entire 6 phases we can call it as one iteration, and the second iteration will start for if customers will be not satisfied, again we need to go on to the one more iteration. That means again it will start with requirements to up to maintenance phase. So that's why like this we can completing for the entire SDLC life cycle. That is the importance of testing in SDLC life cycle. Then we need to discussing about what is verification and what is validation. So verification and validation is two important things. This is also will comes under for the software testing concept. First we can discussing about what is verification. So verification is nothing but are we building the product right? Are we building the product right? Is nothing but whatever the software you are designed, the corresponding software, what are the software already you are built, the corresponding software built will be working properly or not, is nothing but it's a kind of verification. So that's why we can call it as here, are we building the product right, is nothing but a verification process. So verification process is a static analysis technique. Then now we are discussing about what is validation. So sometimes validation is nothing but a testing process. Validation is nothing but testing process. Then what is validation? Are we building the right product? Are we building the right product is nothing but a validation. Our validation is nothing but a testing. Then already we are discussing about what is a testing concept. Testing is nothing but what is the definition of testing? So the process of testing the application to ensure that the corresponding application will be working properly, that is nothing but according to the user requirements, is nothing but a validation process. But validation process is a dynamic analysis technique. But whereas for verification process is a static analysis technique. Then what is the importance of these verification and validation? So these importances we can discussing under the V model concept. Next important concept will be V model in software testing lifecycle, STLC. STLC stands for software testing lifecycle. So here V model is nothing but here. So this is the diagram of V model. It starts with requirements, design, that means requirements and analysis, designing, coding, then testing. This testing means already it will starts with the unit testing, then integration testing, then system testing, and last one will be user acceptance testing, UAT. UAT stands for user acceptance testing. So these entire thing we can call it as left side, entire thing we can call it as a verification process, and this entire testing concept we can call it as a validation process. So that's why verification will covers for requirements analysis, design and coding. But whereas validation will covers for, that means it starts with completely only for testing concepts like unit testing, integration testing, system testing and user acceptance testing. Then how this V model will be working in software testing lifecycle. So software testing lifecycle is nothing but it starts with project initiation level. So what is project initiation? So project initiation will start with from first we can collect the requirement specification documents from the client. That is nothing but a project initiation process. So once requirements will be gathered, then we can try to analyzing for each and every requirement specification. Then once it will be analyzed properly, then according to that we can designing the application. So once application can be designed, then we can move on to the coding process. Then within the coding we can write it for the source lines of code. We can thoroughly test them. If any errors can be identified, rectification can be done. This process we can call it as a debugging process. Then real testing process can be starts where we can connecting for unit testing, integration testing, system testing and acceptance testings. And finally after acceptance testing can be completed, then we can ready to deliver the product from outside of the environment. That means releasing the product. Once the corresponding product can be released, then the same product can be used by the customers or users according to their expectations. The corresponding product can be readily available. Then there is no need of connecting for retesting process. then we can decide at that, so we can stop the testing process. Why? Because so from client side or user expectations, we are not identifying for any more number of expectations. Whatever the product you are delivered, the corresponding product can be achieving for the customer expectations or user expectations. Then we can decide at that, we can stop the testing process. Then here, what is the importance of retesting process? Generally, when we can conducting for retesting process? The retesting process can be generally conducting by, so after again we need to one iteration can be completed. So after one iteration, again we are identifying for any kind of errors or defects or bugs. So those rectification purpose only, again we need to move on to the retesting process, or until and unless we can stop the testing process. And last concept will be why testing will be necessary. Why testing is necessary? Because testing is necessary, so we need to, whatever the product we are built or whatever the software we are implemented, the entire software will be, so we can build according to the customer expectations is nothing but we need to deliver the quality based product. For that's why only the testing will be placed an important role. So without testing, so if we can identify for errors, without rectification of those errors, how you are delivering for the quality based product. So that's the reason only here testing is necessary to developing or to implementing for any kind of products. So that's the reason only here. So we are going to discussing about these basic concepts of a software testing concepts. Thank you.